Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going over a few recently released polls, but mainly one that shows the Virginia governor race is a neck and neck, very close race now. So this is interesting because I haven't covered the Virginia race for a while, mainly because the California recall election, I thought that was pretty interesting, so I wanted to keep up with that. But now we're on to Virginia, and we are about probably a month and a half away from the election. And things are starting to get very interesting. So the election in Virginia for governor happens every year after the presidential election. So every odd year, the first odd year after. And the Democratic candidate is the former governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe. And the Republican candidate is businessman outsider Glenn Youngkin for the Republicans. This is interesting because Virginia is a state that was traditionally a Republican strong state. And then in the 2000s, it started becoming much more of a swing state. And then most recently with Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020, started becoming a strong Democratic state. And Virginia's been trending a lot towards the Democratic side for a while now. But it wasn't until 2016 where the margin started to really pick up towards the Democratic side. So the Virginia governor's race used to be a test of kind of the first referendum on how the president is doing. For instance, in 2017, when Donald Trump was president, the governor's race, Ralph Northam ended up winning by 9 points over Republican Ed Gillespie, who was 3 years removed from losing the Senate race to Mark Warner by less than 1% of the vote. So, the Virginia's governor's race is often a referendum on the president. And it's looking like the 2021 governor's race might be similar to that. Although the Virginia's governor's race is still Democratic favored and Terry McAuliffe might win, not so fast. A new poll shows that McAuliffe is leading with 50% of the vote to Youngkin's 47%. That is only a 3% margin, and that is kind of in the same realm of the most recent released polls where 4 of them have the race at 4% or less. In a state that is trending more and more to the left, that should be a Democratic stronghold now, a 3% race is not all too good of a sign. However, I still think that Terry McAuliffe is favored to win, and I do think in the end of the day, Terry McAuliffe will win, but the fact that it's this close of a race could be a troubling sign for Democrats going into 2022. After the California recall election, a lot of the news has been saying that Republicans may be kind of in a lot of trouble for 2022. I would argue if Virginia doesn't go for Terry McAuliffe or only goes for him for 1%, that may be an even bigger indicator that no, it's the Democrats who are in trouble. And at the very least, if Republicans are in trouble in blue states, why is Glenn Youngkin doing good in Virginia? That is my question. Obviously, we have to wait for their actual votes and the actual results, but if Glenn Youngkin is polling well in Virginia, then maybe this is a good blueprint for how Republicans will run in 2022. Glenn Youngkin is running as an outsider candidate who supported former President Donald Trump, but is not like 100% beholden to him. And that is something that in a blue state like Virginia seems to be working, as the close poll numbers suggest. Lastly, before I end the video, I just want to do one look at the 2013 Virginia governor's race. This was the last time Terry McAuliffe was on the ballot. He was running against Ken Cuccinelli, who did serve in the Trump administration. So if this election took place in, say, 2017, Cuccinelli would 100% be like a Trump candidate, is 100% how they would call him. And in this race, the polls, as you can see, pre-election polls on the bottom left, had McAuliffe at 45, Cuccinelli at 38. So there was a lot of undecided vote with the third-party candidate Sarvers getting 10%. And obviously that didn't end up happening. He lost about 4%, and it looks like that was kind of split between McAuliffe and Cuccinelli. But anyway, McAuliffe was up in the polls by a lot. And it wasn't supposed to be this close, 48, 45.5. It's a 3-point spread, and that's what the polling 3-point spread is right now for McAuliffe and Youngkin. I'm not saying that it's going to be a 3-point race on election night in Virginia. As we know with the recall election, things can change. 1 minute it was recall plus 1, the next minute it was no, don't recall plus 20. Things can change very quickly in electoral politics, and that's something to keep an eye on. But Terry McAuliffe, former governor, won by about 2.5%. Loudoun County was 49-45. Fairfax 58-36, Prince William 52-43. I honestly think in today's environment, if McAuliffe gets the same margins in these three counties, he'll probably lose the race. Because Glenn Youngkin, so far from what we've seen from the polling data, is actually performing better than most Republicans in the Northern Virginia suburbs. McAuliffe is still winning them, and still winning them by a considerable amount. But if Youngkin can bring the margins down to this and do well, for Republicans, let me do this. For Republicans to win Virginia, they have to win all the rural areas throughout this part of the state. This circle I'm doing, this part of the state, they have to win. Up in the Northern Virginia suburbs, especially these three counties, are where most of the Democratic votes are. If a Democrat's going to win, they're going to win it up here. So if it's all red down here, Virginia Beach and Norfolk area are usually an equal split. If this county, Virginia Beach County, is going Republican, that means the Republicans probably overperforming what, say, Donald Trump would or Ed Gillespie in 2017 did. If this county's red, that's a good sign for Youngkin. But really what matters in Virginia is these three counties up here in Prince William, Fairfax, and Loudoun. If it's a close percentage in these three counties, Youngkin will be the next governor of Virginia. If McAuliffe's winning Loudoun County, which is the most conservative of the three counties by, say, 20 points, we know McAuliffe is going to win and it'll be called pretty quickly. But it's an interesting thing to keep an eye on. McAuliffe was governor beforehand, so maybe people will go out and vote for him because he was already there, or maybe people won't come out and vote for him because he was already there and they might just stay home. We'll have to wait and see, but that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. This is your first time seeing my video. If you're a returning subscriber of mine, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.